The skies have captivated humanity since the dawn of time. They represent the infinite and the unknown. In recent decades, a new phenomenon has emerged in our skies: chemtrails. These long-lasting trails, often crisscrossing in complex patterns, have become a subject of intense scrutiny and debate. They first appeared in the early 90s, capturing public attention with their unusual persistence. Unlike contrails, which are short-lived ice crystals formed from aircraft exhaust, chemtrails linger for hours, spreading out to form thin artificial clouds. Proponents of the chemtrail theory, often dubbed chemtrail theorists, believe these trails contain harmful chemicals or agents. These are deliberately sprayed into the atmosphere for reasons shrouded in secrecy. Theories range from weather manipulation and solar radiation management to population control and biological warfare. While often dismissed as conspiracy theories, the persistence of chemtrails and the lack of official transparency have fueled public distrust and concern. The mainstream scientific community largely dismisses these claims. They attribute the phenomenon to contrails formed at high altitudes under specific atmospheric conditions. However, the sheer volume of anecdotal evidence, coupled with the increasing prevalence of geoengineering research, continues to fuel speculation. The question remains: are chemtrails a benign consequence of modern aviation, or is there something more sinister at play? The lack of transparency from governments and scientific institutions only adds fuel to the fire. Many people find it hard to ignore the sheer number of trails appearing in the sky. They are demanding answers and a deeper understanding of what is happening in the airspace above them. Chemtrail theorists claim that these aerial trails are laden with a cocktail of toxic substances. These include heavy metals like barium and aluminum, polymers, and biological agents. The purported purpose of dispersing these substances varies widely. Some believe it's to manipulate weather patterns, while others fear it's part of a larger agenda for population control or even mind control. Independent researchers and citizen scientists have conducted studies analyzing air, water, and soil samples from areas with frequent chemtrail activity. Some of these studies have reported elevated levels of heavy metals and other unusual substances. However, these findings have not been replicated in peer-reviewed scientific journals, and their methodologies have often been questioned. The potential health impacts of long-term exposure to these alleged chemtrail components are a major concern for those who believe in their existence. Respiratory illnesses, skin problems, neurological disorders, and even an increase in certain types of cancers have been attributed to chemtrail exposure. However, it's important to note that no causal link has been scientifically established between chemtrails and these health issues. While the scientific community largely attributes these health concerns to other environmental factors, the lack of comprehensive research specifically addressing the potential impacts of chemtrail components leaves many questions unanswered. The call for more transparency and independent, peer-reviewed research on the composition and potential effects of chemtrails is growing louder. The chemtrail phenomenon taps into a deep-seated societal anxiety about environmental control and government transparency. In an era marked by climate change denial, widespread surveillance, and the increasing influence of corporate interests, it's not surprising that many view chemtrails as yet another example of powerful entities operating in secrecy. The internet has played a significant role in spreading awareness and fueling the chemtrail conspiracy theory. Online forums and social media platforms have become breeding grounds for speculation, anecdotal evidence, and the sharing of often unsubstantiated information. The lack of clear and readily available information from official sources has created a vacuum, quickly filled by conspiracy theories and misinformation. This lack of transparency has eroded public trust in government institutions and scientific authorities. Many people feel that their concerns are being dismissed or ignored. This perceived disregard fuels the belief that there is something to hide. The chemtrail debate highlights a growing disconnect between the scientific community and the general public. Bridging this gap requires open and honest communication, increased transparency from those in power, and a willingness to engage with public concerns, even if they seem rooted in conspiracy. The debate surrounding chemtrails raises crucial questions about the future of our skies. If these trails are indeed part of a deliberate geoengineering program, as some believe, what are the long-term implications for our planet and our health? Who gets to decide how these technologies are deployed, and what are the ethical considerations? Proponents of geoengineering argue that it's a necessary tool to combat climate change. They believe that by reflecting sunlight back into space or manipulating weather patterns, we can mitigate the worst effects of global warming. However, critics argue that these technologies are untested and potentially dangerous, with unknown consequences for ecosystems and human health. The natural processes that govern our atmosphere are complex and interconnected. Tampering with one part of the system could have unforeseen and potentially catastrophic consequences for the entire planet. We must proceed with caution and prioritize the preservation of our natural environment over quick fixes and technological interventions. The future of our skies hangs in the balance. Will we continue down the path of geoengineering with its unknown risks and potential for abuse? Or will we choose to address the root causes of climate change and prioritize the health of our planet and its inhabitants? The answer lies in our collective awareness, our willingness to demand transparency, and our commitment to making informed choices that prioritize the well-being of all life on Earth.